Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20, and welcome to episode 69 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series, where today I've built a Pneumatic building. I hope I made it tall enough. I guess we'll find out. If it needs to be taller, then I'll just something it taller. Should be doable. So I wanted to have like a separate Pneumatic building. What I want to have is a nice travel anchor out there. So let's make one of those real quick. Actually, give me that back. So I used some gadgetry to help me terraform the area over there a bit. And I made like a nice little copper-based building. Now, I am fully aware that copper will eventually oxidize and turn green. I'm kind of counting on it. We're going to see how it plays out. But it should be fun. It should be cool to see what happens. Now, unfortunately, the travel anchor does not look like it's going to reach that far per se. I wonder if I made another travel anchor here. Actually, I already had it there. Are you not? Is it because you're not named? Enter a named user. Okay. Travel anchor, pneumatic area. Sweet. Okay. So let's see where we can see this from. You can be seen from there-ish and there-ish. That's pretty cool. Can you see it here still? No, actually, yeah, it looks like we're literally right in the middle-ish of where we can be. That's funny. Okay, so let's do this. Hey, Mr. Gadget. That cool? Wait, what I was thinking more along these lines. Midway station. Cool. So boop. And then we can pop down to Midway and into Pneumatic area. That works. There's obviously other ways I could, boop around here, right? Waystones, among other stuff. But I'm just kind of playing. What I did to build this real quick was I just kind of mapped out the chunks. So you can see it kind of follows chunk boundaries a little bit. And the reason I did that is I wanted to keep all my machines within the same chunks when possible. So it really kind of cuts right down the middle here. And eventually, I also mapped out where the other corners of chunks are, so that if we decided that this needed to be a bigger area, it could be. But I started small, and we'll grow from there. That's, how Dire generally does it. I'm going to move my Pneumatic pressure dude off camera. This thing, real quick. It shouldn't be hard. Just note that when you break things, it's just going to do all that. Good times. Lots of good times. I might make this a 5x5 in there because that's going to be its permanent home. Might not be a bad idea, right? Could be cool. And then I have to move my laser IO stuff, but that shouldn't be too big of a deal. So in today's episode, I'm going to work towards automating Yeast and probably a few other things-ish. That should be cool. I think we're just missing a little bit. I can probably get rid of you. And you. Okay. And then let's put away you for a minute. And then let's also put away, maybe I'll just have you absorb all the cards. That would probably be easier, right? That should be fine. Okay, cool. And then we get to reclaim this little area for something smaller later. Because I feel like Pneumatic is going to be a big, bit of real estate that we're going to need. So let's make sure that everything's chunk loaded, right? And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and go crazy with the whole big machine dude. So let's see. Pressure chamber walls. Let's make it a 5x5. Man, I can't click today. Okay. Now, I might want to have this actually a little bit out away from the walls so that I can interact on sides with it, right? So what I'll do is just like that. Perfect. See, I kind of built this building properly. Doesn't it look good? I'm actually interested to see how it looks as it starts to weather. Like, because I haven't really played with the whole copper mechanic much. You know what I mean? So, interested to see how that plays out. So the pressure chamber interface and pressure chamber glass. I'm probably going to want another batch of you, if I'm being honest. And I don't know if the glass can go on the top or bottom. So we're just going to go with those guys up there. All right, so then you're going to go... I think I did it this way. That's the valve. That's the wrong thing. This way? Yeah. Right? I guess we'll see what happens when I form it. Now, this is a much bigger chamber, so it has much more space, so it takes much more to pressurize. Keep that in mind. Oh, so close for short one? Rip. Not a big deal, though, because this stuff ain't too crazy. Hello! Sweet. All right, so you're ready to be in. You're going to be the extract. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. I like it. I might actually move you guys down one, now that I'm thinking about it. And that way, I can be a little bit cooler. With laser I/O. Because then I don't need 2 nodes, right? I can still have a chest here. Perfect. So that's a bigger chamber. It's going to definitely take more to fill up. So just bear that in mind, okay? Trust me. You're gonna see it takes a lot more to fill this thing up. Did I say I was going to do this off camera? I probably did. Probably did. But I wanted to kind of do it on camera. Now, the whole pressure system, I'm probably going to want to be a little bit smarter about how I lay things out. So what I'm thinking is we could have my air compressors maybe like in one area. Let's start with down here-ish. Okay. And then you guys are going to get that redstone output stuff. You'll be reconfigured for low signal. You actually still remember that, so that's nice. So when you don't have a redstone signal, you're generating. Let's get our pressure gauge here. Okay. And let's get some more redstone. I think I had put it away because of inventory. Yeah, it might be a little trickier with this compacted space. Let's see. How do I want to run this guy? Once we get the advanced version of this thing, it would be a lot cooler, but we're not quite there yet. What we could do... What do we got by way of... I don't want to do anything like that. I'm going to keep it simple for now. We'll see what this does in terms of pressure. I could probably math it out, but we'll figure it out. Okay. And then we need the 2 stacks of charcoal ready to power that stuff up. See, I don't like how this is kind of all here. It's in my way. I don't like that. And now remember, this thing's going to take a lot more pressure to fill up and pressurize because it's a 5x5. But once it's there, it's going to be fine. What if I ran this down? Would that be cool? I think I can do this. Can't I do this? And would you emit a redstone signal below, you think? I think we'll have to wait until we hit 0.5 bars, but maybe? And then if I really wanted to, I could loop this around whatever sides I wanted. Yeah, and this should be able to read from the downside. Maybe. We'll find out. We'll find out, right? It'll be cool. It'll be an experiment to find out if that works or not. So yeah, we'll have to wait until this hits 0.5. So notice how much longer it's taking to register that much pressure now. I like Pneumatic Craft because it is really kind of fun. So we're going to amp that up a little bit, and then that'll distribute pretty quickly. And then, hey, look, Redstone Signal. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. So let's clip it off earlier just to be safe, and then if we decide we want more, we'll do more. Fair? All right, so we'll see when this fillet finishes. But for now, see, he's taking a while to pressurize. Like, even though we're at like 2 bars of pressure up here, this guy being so big is just taking a while. I maybe shouldn't have gone 5x5 just yet until I got better pipes, but you know Dyer. He likes to do the things. Now, if I remember correctly, we can't put a block here because that would be bad times. So we'll have to be careful. So the other thing I'd like right now is a network transmitter and receiver. And I'll tell you why I want this set up. Because I'm going to want to use refined storage to handle the whole liquid, yeast stuff. So this process, I think I'm going to do with refined. But let's validate that I can do it the way I think I can. I might need to do some integrated dynamics. We'll see. So the first way to get yeast, because we're going to need a bucket to get started, right, is we need a thermopneumatic processing plant. So let's get one of those. We're probably going to need several of these, but we'll get there. In fact, maybe I should pop home real quick. Actually, I don't know if I want to be home just yet. Let's go back to Midway Station, pneumatic area. Let's set up the receiver and bind the network card to it. So I'm debating, I'm thinking I might want a little bit of an underground area here because I want above here, so I'm going to make a basement already. That's what it comes down to. So let's get our destruction gadget. And you're going to go up 4. Does that sound about right? No, how about 3? And then a depth of 16? That should be cool. So I probably voided a bunch of... Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Oh, boy. All right, so let's try that again without voiding all the basement stuff that I wanted. Ah, that's better. Sweet. All right, so then you guys... We wanted to maintain this run effectively. And I might... What I'll likely do is some fancier stuff once we get some fancier stuff. So trust me, this will get better. It's gonna look like a mess right now, but that's okay. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. Dyer is messy at first, and then things get better, especially as we improve. There we go, now we're cooking. Cool, so now you've got a redstone signal strength of 1. You're still at 0.82, so yeah, it's taking a long time for that pressure to rebuild. Not a big deal, though. We can always tick accelerate. Now remember, it takes a while for the pressure to equalize, so don't tick accelerate these compressors too much, or they'll hit 5 bars of pressure before the pressure has a chance to get and make its way into here. So trust me when I say be careful with tick accelerating these guys. Unless, I guess, you tick accelerate all the pressure tubes. That might be a solution, but I don't know if you want to do that. All right, so now for our basement. Let's get, and then we're probably going to want to do the same, but only a depth of 1. Does that look cool? I think that looks cool. That looks good to me. Actually, let's keep this stuff here. Oh wow, you didn't undo correctly. That's weird. Generally speaking, you should undo correctly. It's alright. Not too worried about it. Oh, you know what we should do is we should put a feral flare lantern out here. That would probably be super smart. Alright, so maybe under the travel anchor is where we'll have the network receiver, or somewhere-ish in the middle of this room can be the receiver. Yeah, that looks good. And then we'll network card bind it. We can go above onto the roof. And we'll stick the feral flare lantern, like, generally-ish in the middle. And then we'll pop home, sleep through this rainy night, and then we'll set up our network transmitter guy. And that's that. Sweet. And then let's set your depth to 0 just to be safe and put you away. Cool. now I'd like to automate some tasks, right? So auto crafting of things, I know we're going to need a thermal pneumatic processing plant, and we're probably going to need a healthy amount of these. So while I'm here, why don't I teach you all the, middle bits, right? So you're going to be this, and you're going to be this. And then we also want you to know how to make this. And probably these small fluid tanks would be cool to know. Is there anything else I particularly need right now? I think so. For the most part. It looks like we might need this at some point. Yeah, I'm going to automate what goes into the chamber, but not just yet. Soon, mind you, just not yet. The chamber's not bad to automate, for sure. All right, now let's look at that thermopneumatic processing plant, which should be easy-ish to make right now. Boom. How cool is that? All right, so this guy is going to need a couple things. So first off, let's look at yeast, right? In order to make yeast, we need our temperature to be somewhere between 30 and 60 degrees Celsius in order to make yeast. And we may or may not need pressure, or is it just heat that we need for this guy? Yeah, let's find out. I guess we'll find out. Is there a pressure connector? There is a pressure gauge. Okay, cool. That's good to know. That's good to know. So some recipes in here require pressure. Some just need temperature. So for example, making whatever this is needs a high temperature, right? Making lubricant needs a decent temperature. We'll talk about how to get that. And then sometimes it needs air pressure, and sometimes it needs both air pressure and temperature. So this thing, making LPG from gasoline, needs some decent pressure and some very decent temperature. But luckily, we're sitting at 19-ish degrees Celsius right now, so that's not too bad. So this doesn't need pressure for the making of yeast, and the yeast is going to be a temporary setup. Now, in order to make heat, there's a machine that we're going to need. Let's see, does it in here? Heat pipe, heat sink, to get rid of heat. What we want is the vortex, I think it's called. Yeah, vortex tube. There we go. It takes air pressure and will make one side hot and the other side cold. Okay. So let's make one of these real quick, because these are super cool to have. Okay. So when you place it in the world, I think that's the hot side facing you, and that's the cold side facing away from you. So if I want to place it here, okay, what we're going to get is hot on one side and cold on the other. And I think the pneumatic pressure can come in kind of anywhere-ish. Cool. And when I do that, you can see the north temperature and the south temperature, basically really cold over here, really hot over there. And that is spiking our temperature a little bit much. Okay. Well, that's good to know. So our temperature is too high now for yeast. So that's fun times. So let's not use this guy. Not bad. I don't know. We might have lost a little bit of pressure there, but meh. Yeah, see, now he's dropping too much. What if I put lava near you? Would lava heat you up? We'll find out. There's probably an ideal... Oh, lava's way too hot. There's probably an ideal temperature block that will get us, slightly over... Yeah, no, that's too hot too. All right, let me see what I can figure out. Is there like a heat? Oh, there we go. Block heat properties. Okay. Let's see if there's something in the range that we're looking for. Aloe milk tea. What stuff is? A bunch of stuff. Let's get past all these 27s. Sulfur trioxide. Sky slime, venom. Don't we have some liquid sulfur trioxide? Don't we already have a little bit of that? Because our goal is for the heat 30 to 60. So I think we have sulfur trioxide, don't we? Isn't that this stuff? Sulfur trioxide, yeah. I think it's in gaseous form. I think we could snag a little and turn it into liquid form? Maybe. What if we got a basic chemical tank? And we told you to output to the front for gases? Sweet. And then we had a rotary condensator dude. And you were set to output to the right. And then we just grabbed a quick flux point to borrow for a moment. And then we had a tank. And your fluids were set to output to the right, so you should be getting liquid sulfur dioxide. Sweet. I wonder if this will actually work. Obviously not Pneumaticraft, but I may have found a solution to my problems. There's other ways I'm sure that we could make this like dialed in a little bit more. I don't know if the vortex tube has like any kind of... I bet the amount of pressure you give it will determine how hot or cold it gets. So we might play with that for a second just to see if my guess is correct there. But if we get a bucket of this stuff... Okay. Midway station. I like that midway station. That's cool. So what if we, real quick, just to demonstrate this, because I think there's a charging flow detector regulator. Limit pressure allowed through the tube. So what if we did this? If we made a pressure regulator, or a regulator module, needs some safety tubes, which needs a couple pressure gauges. I just want to demonstrate this real quick, because I think this might be the proper way to do it, but I want to try it the other way just for fun. So if we put this here with the regulator tube on it, threshold is 4.9 bars. If we gave it a redstone signal here with one bit of redstone on it, that's blocking all that from running, but you get the idea of what I'm trying to go for there. Now his pressure is 0. So if I did this, whoops, his threshold is 0.3. Okay. Now I'm not sure if there's like a sidedness to this. So let's... Nope, that is not right. Threshold is 0.7. Oh yeah, look at that, it's working. Cool. So that's probably the right way to do it. You just make the right temperature threshold. Cool. I like that. So let's like lower you for a sec. Oh. Yeah, so you're at 0.6 now, and you're kind of right at the right temperature. Ooh, that's nice. That's cool. That's kind of neat. So that's like the proper way to do it. You just throttle how much air pressure is allowed into the vortex tube, and that'll throttle how much temperature it goes up to. So if I broke and replaced you now, I'd like to see you kind of stabilize at a better point. I might need you to be a little bit closer, but we'll find out. Yeah, see, you're at 63C, so let's move this to here. And that'll throttle you at 0.3 bars. Which your pressure's... Oh, right, because I had to break you. There you go. Right around 0.3. That seems to be keeping me about the right temperature that we want. We'll see if you go above 60, but I think that's pretty cool. So that's probably the proper way to go about it, right? So now if we got some mushrooms... I think 4 is what I want. Right? And we throw them in there. Because we're in between 30 and 60, we're good. See the yellow lines showed up? That's cool, right? How cool is that? Oh, yeah, look at that. Heat insulation if we wanted to. Not too shabby. But yeah, this is cool. See how, like, you kind of have to be clever with some solutions. That's what I like about this mod. It's not just like place it down and you're good, right? Like, there's cool stuff going on here. So this will make a quarter of a bucket of yeast culture, right? Nice. Oh, that's cool. You can dump the fluids. Awesome. Very nice. Yep. Yeah, no, this is 100% the right way to do it. So you'll notice because of the regulator here, we say only 0.3 bars are allowed to go down here. And then we've got the 1 point, whatever else elsewhere. That is cool. How are you guys on charcoal? You're okay. Sweet. Okay, back in a minute when this is done. All right, so there's my bucket of yeast culture. Right? So now if I get an empty bucket here, yoink, got it. Nice. Now if we get some sugar and water, right? Now the theory is that if I put my yeast here and my water here and we drop sugar in to the yeast, not into the water. Isn't this how it's supposed to work? Drop sugar into yeast next to water. Is there like a time limit or something? Maybe I should get rid of my magnet for a moment. Method 1. That's what we just did. Replicating yourself to pour a bucket of culture into the world and throw some sugar in the pool. Now pour a bucket of water in a block space adjacent to the culture. You will see the water be converted into more culture after a second or two. It is important the culture will spread when water is placed, not when sugar is added. This method can be automated with a little thought and design, even early in the game. Hint, omnidirectional hopper and liquid hoppers with dispenser upgrades may be very helpful. We should try that. Haha! Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking. Yep. So it's sugar first, and then water, and it should real quick. Nice. Okay. Okay. That's doable. We should reserve a little bit of yeast just to be careful, because clearly, if we have to make more in the future, it's not the end of the world, but I'd like to not have to. So yeah, we should be careful. Well, let's check out the omnidirectional hopper. If I placed this here... Oh, hello. If I give you an item... Mode, normal operation, leave one item per slot to filter. Oh, that's kind of cool. Round robin. Always running. Upgrades. Dispenser upgrade. Eject items in the world at the output side if there's no inventory to take them. Okay. Dispenser upgrades requires just a dispenser. Looks easy enough. So it's going to drop a lot of sugar on the ground. So my concern is the amount of sugar that we're going to wind up dropping. That's a little bit of a problem. And then, what else did it recommend? Dispenser liquid hoppers. Liquid hopper. I assume I want you to go that way, right? So if I gave you a bucket of water, would you place it in the world? You probably also need a dispenser upgrade. I'm just going to use the same dispenser upgrade. I feel like I'd rather do this with Yes, so he does that. So the trick will be knowing when there's sugar there. Because I can't... Pressure plates can't be, like, waterlogged, can they? I assume not. Yeah, no, I didn't think so. Nope, that ain't gonna happen. So... Is there some kind of sensor? That's not what I need. Universal sensor. A highly flexible device which can monitor a wide selection of block, entity, and world conditions and measure its own. Oh, that's kind of cool. Do you have a pulse mode for Redstone? No, you just have a high signal, low signal situation. But, you know, what I could do... Yeah, there's a couple ways I could think of this. How hard are you to make the universal sensor? You need plastic for me to get into that. So that's going to be a little tricky. Mob spiders... I could try you. I don't know if you actually sense, like, items in the world. Right? Because what I could set up would be something like this. So you run on a low signal with a dispenser upgrade. Right? And then what I could say is entities, count the amount of entities, players, hostile, passive. So let's say entities, one block in front of the sensor. There's really no entities in front of that sensor, sir. You're lying. There are no entities here. One block in front of sensor. That works. Okay, so how about this? You might have a little bit of trouble here. But we could laser IO it if we wanted to. What if we did this? Okay. What if we put the yeast here? Okay. The bucket of water is here. You need a high signal. You need a low signal. Okay. Because of your connectiveness, it's going to be wonky. So let's do this. Here's what I'm going to do. You ready? A node here, reading redstone, right? Redstone input. And then nodes here for redstone output. Oh, you're pulling. Oh, no, I don't want you to do that. We're going to have to do this a slightly different way. A slightly different way. Okay. And then redstone dust. Okay. And I probably want you to have a little bit of a delay. So watch what happens if I give you sugar. I'd really hoped that would work. Wait, do you not have your dispenser upgrade in you? You do. Oh, hello. Sweet. And then we could vacuum it up somehow? That could work. I'm going to have to play with it a little bit. But for now, I think it's probably wrapping up point. So let's do that. Let's wrap up here. So Darrell20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We'll come back next time to play with this a little bit more and see if I can't find a way to automate it this way. And if I can't do it in a reliable way like this, then what I'll do instead, more than likely, would be to... So let's do that. Let's see. I'd really like you to be slower. You're a little slow. That's kind of cool. Kind of cool. I could see that. All right, we'll play with it more. Wrapping up point. Darrell20 sign off. Take it easy.